and welcome to the From Hurt to Heal podcast. I'm your host, Vicky B, and tonight we are in for a powerful inspiration and purpose filled conversation. This platform was created to bring healing, transparency, growth, and transformation. And tonight's guest embodies all of that and more. Our special guest tonight is none other than Dr. Nikisha Jones-Pate, a visionary entrepreneur, global leader, humanitarian, mentor, and founder of and president of the Black Women Network International platform. This platform empowers over 30,000 women entrepreneurs and business leaders worldwide. She is a woman of purpose, leadership, faith, resilience, and impact. And tonight we're going to dive into her journey, her mission, and the legacy she is building through empowering women and communities around the world. So, everyone, help me welcome Dr. Nikisha Jones-Pate. Thank you for joining us
Wow, wow.
tonight.
That was amazing. And I love it. And I truly appreciate you for that warm welcome and inviting me here. It's kind of like, long overdue. I've been a part of the journey of you getting here. And I've been seeing so much growth and so many things that you're doing with the platform. And
Thank
I'm
you.
excited. Thank you for having me
Thank
this
you.
evening.
So, Dr. Jones Payne, thank you again so much for joining us tonight. We are truly honored for you. And so, I want you to introduce yourself in your own words of who Dr. Nikisha Jones Pate is.
Awesome, awesome. So it seems so easy and then so difficult all at the same time, right?
Hmm.
Because you have so many different angles, especially myself, Dr. Nikisha Jones-Pate. Um, I believe that title right there, I'm amazed by God, right? He outdid himself with that. And just as a girl from a small town, Mobile, Alabama, moved to Georgia when I was 9 years old. Born to some very awesome and amazing individuals. And my mother was a single mother raising four children, three girls and a boy. Now I am a wife and a mother raising three girls and a boy as well. But with the partnership of a king that is, right there every step of the way. I started this journey of BWN over, I'll say about 16 years ago. My mother passed from colon cancer, and it happened at a very fast pace. I mean, didn't see it coming, didn't know that she was sick and anything like that. And the things that I had been through in my life, I dealt with some self-esteem things. I dealt with some trauma, some hurt through some things that had happened through my life, some things I embodied through my family, some things that they had went through. And so when God gave me the vision to start BWN, it was something initially that I started for connecting in business for myself personally. And as it evolved, as I saw the need for others that I came in contact with, God showed me the opportunity to reach those that had never been introduced to being an entrepreneur before. People that had came from backgrounds of, little to no education, those that came from backgrounds where there were no entrepreneurs and business owners and so forth, those that had dealt with, again, different issues and circumstances that didn't even allow them to believe in those type of opportunities that could even be available to them. And so in the midst of it, God gave me this vision for BWN, Black Women Networking, to be able to reach those that did not have a voice and be able to reach those that, in the sense, people didn't care about. And God gave me the heart for it through my own journey. I'm going to tell you personally that, um, and many have heard me say it, I have not always been, the girl's girl that I am, that today. I have not always been that person. Through the circumstance, I had my walls up. um, and I've dealt with so many different things where I call myself an introvert, and did not talk much, and I've went through certain things, and so through my own personal journey, God showed me how to be available to others and how to be use my own personal struggle and my own personal disappointment and abandonment issues and things of that nature to be a resource and be a help to others. And so BWN has morphed into something over the years that I could not have ever phantom and believed that it would be. Reached women all across the globe that I wouldn't have never thought I would have come in contact with. And of course, gotten testimonies and testimonies upon testimonies of the life changing experiences from just simply coming in contact with these ladies. And so, that, like I said, it's so many different angles I can speak on, from the journey of um, being a leader to being a mentor to even actually being a mentee myself. You know, I came to this platform because of my mentor, to be perfectly honest. Even though we know that purpose starts far before you actually get to the place that you are, right? We know that divine purpose starts at, I believe, the place of conception, because God said He knew us before we were in our mother's womb.
That's right.
And so that's where purpose actually really began. We're just catching up with purpose, right? Um, but my mentor saw something in me. Um, and he pulled it out of me. It was like pulling teeth. Oh, like it was like a root canal. I went kicking, scratching, and fighting. Everything in me. The flesh wanted to be as weak as it wanted to be, and it wanted to tell me that I was unable to do all the things that God was actually really calling me to do. And but my mentor, he saw those things just like a mentor is supposed to, right? A mentor is supposed to see, and
Mm-hmm.
they're supposed to be able to help shape and speak and cultivate. And truly, my mentor, Mr. Demond Crump, many may know him. He's a multimillionaire this today, but at the time when he became my mentor, he wasn't in the physical, in the present, in the manifested, but he was definitely that in the spirit. And he spoke that into me, and he poured those things out of me. And because of that, I owe him a lifetime of gratitude and appreciation for what he did and what he spoke and what he continued to do. And that's why I truly believe here in BWN in that mentorship model of being able to help someone else and speak into someone else's life. Oftentimes, it's not just about money, you know, it's not just about monetary things,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe that sometimes a conversation, a word, a meeting, a coming together could be just as impactful and purposeful in someone's life. So today, like you said, BWN has reached over thousands upon thousands of women all across the globe, and that are business owners of all kinds of backgrounds and professions and industries. And they come with so many talents, gifts, and I would even go as far as to say anointings, because I believe that truly some of these women, the amazing job that they do, they're anointed to be as successful as they are. So yeah, that's how we get to where we are. I believe what's instilled in me from my mother, from the womb, from my daddy, from the bloodline, from my grandfather, who's in the grave, but he was also a pastor, but the prayers of the ancestors that went up on my behalf far before I knew I was going to get here. And
That's
I
right.
definitely got to give thanks and praise to my husband and my children that had to share me along the way with the rest of the world and BWN.
Well, we
God sent me some
appreciate them.
amazing.
We
Yes, yes, I definitely appreciate them. God sent me some amazing leaders, also some amazing leaders and sisters and partners along the way. I will be remiss if I don't mention them, because truly, this is not a solo project. This is not something you can do alone. This is definitely something that takes others to believe in what you're doing and
Mhm.
come along with you. So I'm thankful for those ladies and gentlemen along the way as well.
Awesome. So many people see your accomplishments today, but they may not know the journey behind them. Can you share what experiences helped shape the woman and leader you are today?
Absolutely. I think one of the most profound things that shaped me was being an older sister. Being an older sister and having that responsibility with a single mother and being put in the fire of having to do some things. And I had to figure some things out without even being told. And little did I know that my mother was shaping me in leadership at that time. And so, where I didn't believe I had the proper training in some areas when I got in a situation, because all my life I had to be innovative and I had
Mhm.
to think quick on my feet sometimes in different situations and fill in the gaps when mama wasn't around. Here I am, being able to now recall, instant
Mhm.
recall, take me back to some situations, and I was able to utilize it. So I give credit to the older sisters out there, right? To the sisters that had to stand in the gap.
Yes, ma'am.
Leadership is shaping you. Leadership is you've been being shaped many, many years. So don't doubt yourself on your capabilities of what you're able to do, because you'll surprise yourself in just what you can pull off and put together just from that alone.
Yes, indeed. That is so powerful because so many people are still trying to find themselves, while carrying responsibilities and expectations, and they don't even realize it. So, you've built
Mhm.
a global platform that empowers thousands of women. So, where were there moments where you had to choose purpose over comfort, and what did that teach you?
Absolutely. Being a wife, a young mother, having my first daughter at 23, I believe starting BWN at the age of 30, many people thought that, wow, I was older than I was many times. To hear my voice, they say, you sound so mature. You sound so much older than you really are. They hear the passion that I speak from and the wisdom even that I speak from at times. That's what they tell me, right? Um, but it was basically sometimes having to sacrifice even at moments like this. Today is my daughter's high school basketball banquet, and I had to get here early because I knew I even had this interview, and I had to get here early so that I could help to set up with the banquet, getting a chance to make sure that the coach had what he needed, give him a little rundown, and make sure he had um, his agenda in place and different things like that, as how he wanted the structure and how he wanted to go. And so, honestly, this position caused me to prioritize situation by situation. There was no always BWN or always home, because sometimes home had to come second to BWN because of the magnitude of the mandate of what God called me to do. So
Mhm.
it's situation by situation that will cause me to say, okay, family, let me give you my pep talk. This is an important event. This is something mama got to go do. I know that you're expecting mama to always be at the basketball game. I know that you're expecting for wife to always be at this meeting with you, to be
Mhm.
able to sit next to you and encourage you and be in the audience. But I also have to carry this out as well. This is something that God put inside of me, in my belly, that I have to give birth to. And so I can't let him down. And so, I've traveled on the road to places, going to cities to speak. I've connected with people all over, but needless to say, it's a situation by situation, but it's purpose behind everything that I do, and it's passion in me as well that keeps me driven. I believe that um, that's what keep me going. Honestly, the passion that has been developed to see the changes in lives that we
Mhm.
impact. When I think about some of the women along the way that come to us and they have confidence issues, self esteem, they have fears of speaking in front of the room. They may have even had issues with knowing how to, dress properly and
Mhm.
put outfits together and different things like that. And, as a sisterhood organization, we're an example to that. We're
Mhm.
example to the professionalism. We're example to conquering your fears, going out there anyway. I'm not going to tell anybody that I wasn't afraid my first speaking engagement or even my 100th speaking engagement. Okay. I heard some of the greats, Steve Harvey, TD Jakes, that say even still to this day, they get some jitters and
Mhm.
different things like that from speaking on large stages. And so I'll just say again, um, purpose and prioritizing is what allowed me to make the decision from one moment to the next, because God has allowed BWN and the purpose, the movement of BWN. For many years, I relate to it as a movement, because when I first came to start this organization, there were a lot of people that did not understand what this meant. You know, I and jokingly tell people all the time that um, I got started with this organization before Black women were popular, right? Before were the novelties that everybody had to have. They had to have one in their business now. Now everybody knows the intelligence, the creativity, the leadership, the powerhouse that a Black woman is, the highly educated woman that we add to everything that we put our hands to. And I just like to say that, 16 years ago, I stepped out on faith on this thing because there wasn't a lot of us doing that. They were
Mhm.
trying to downplay Black women. They were trying to say, we could only be basketball wives, rappers' wives, and all this and all of that. But I am proud today to see all the millions of Black women and their accomplishments and the things that they're achieving. They are mayors, they are governors, they are presidents, they are founders, they are CEOs, they are bosses, and even the most amazing ones, the mothers, the wives that are raising, powerhouse
Mhm.
leaders out of their homes. Because many people think that it's always the ones that's sitting in front of the room on the stages, the CEOs that are sitting at the end of the table, in the boardrooms. But let me tell you, many of these wives and mothers have turned that kitchen table into a boardroom. Many of them have turned that refrigerator, that those magnets, those
Mhm.
into a whiteboard,
Mhm.
where they have taught and they have led and they have created entrepreneurs and engineers and lawyers and doctors and things of that nature. So uh, I could go on and
Real
on and
talk.
on.
Real talk. Real talk. So let's talk about identity and balance, because that was something that you had mentioned. As a wife, a mother, entrepreneur, mentor, and global leader, how do you protect your peace and identity while carrying so many roles?
I tell you, it is a challenge. It's something that I grew to understand, how to balance it, how to protect my peace. First initially starting BWN, it was I was still a young mother, newly. My mother had passed away, and starting this journey and walking this journey without her. My mother was, a very intricate part of my life. She was my role model. I'd be remiss to not acknowledge the great and marvelous and amazing things that she has done, that helped build the character in me and helped me also create the vision of the impossible when people told me that it was impossible. But she was first runner up, Miss Black America, Miss New York. She danced Broadway, Carnegie Hall. She danced Alvin Ailey Dance Company in New York. Um, she actually came to Atlanta and went to Barter College that was in Buckhead. She became valedictorian there. She went off to Chicago and attended cosmetology school, where she was also valedictorian there, a school called Debbie School of Beauty Culture. She
Mhm.
partnered with them and brought that school to Decatur, to Belvedere Plaza. Some people know where Memorial Drive and Columbia Drive meet.
Mhm.
She brought the school to the hood, and she was the head instructor there, where she helped to cultivate many master cosmetologists, estheticians, and so forth that came out. And so from that, as you can see, I'm a very proud daughter. And from it, the balance, that I was able to understand, first and foremost, what was most important to me. And honestly, I can tell you, losing my mother, family became most important to me above anything. My husband and my children became my greatest accomplishment, but also my greatest role and responsibility. And so nothing came before them. And I honor the role, I honor the position, and I made them part of BWN. They became partners in it with me. My children started Bike, which is Black International Kid Entrepreneurs. That's in BWN, and my husband partnered with me in Men, which is called Massive Empowering Network, which is also a partner to BWN as well. So what God gave to me, I believe He gave to my family in the area of self development and empowerment, and gave them some leadership skills as well that we all learned along the way together. We read books, Think and Grow Rich, The Magic of Believing, uh, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We enjoyed the journey together, and that became the balance because I truly believe, if we were cohesively put together, that God would allow all of us to enjoy that together. And over the years, He truly has. Now that my kids are older, my oldest daughter have taken those skills, and she started her own cosmetic line. She's 23 years old, and she's an author. She's also started her own sweets business, and it's just truly a blessing to see the evolvement in how some things that started as a child has now manifested itself to see the fruit of, the labor. And I'm talking about, by nature, a young lady that was normally quiet and
Mhm.
reserved and kept to herself. And now to see her at 23 years old, stepping out there and doing these great and amazing things, um, that's the balance.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
shows she
balance.
was
Bring
paying attention too.
absolutely, absolutely.
So with that balance, so many women right now are searching for that. So what is one thing that you could tell them to look for certain, when searching for that balance?
When searching for that balance, honestly, it's not to recreate what you have, it's to look at what you already have. You know, God is
Hmm.
so purposeful that you're not going to go be someone completely different from who you are. He don't make mistakes. Who you are is already divinely put inside you already. If God put something on the inside of you, my thing is to find a way to get aligned with what you already have on the inside of you. You know the
Hmm.
things that make you happy. You know the things you would do for free. You know the things that give you peace.
Hmm.
You know the things that you do well. All of those things right there are the places that you will go and you will connect that. And in that, I believe in your passions, you will discover your purpose. And in finding that balance, even by your family, well, don't isolate your family, include them.
Hmm.
Be inclusive, have conversations with them, let them know what's going on, find their interest to be a part of it. If this is another extension to what you're doing, that they can be a part of it, or vice versa, even getting involved in what they're doing so that they then will see interest in what you're doing. So
Hmm.
that's the balance to me, is to look within for one. you know you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself and the things that you like and the things that you enjoy and the things that make a difference to you and the things that move you, the things that excite you. And then when you connect to that, you also then identify the things that elevate you, because
That's
there's a balance to it. We can't have fun all the time.
that's
So
right.
it's a healthy balance that you got to find what you enjoy, and then you also find what elevates you.
That is
Where your
so.
purpose lies.
So BWN is about women empowerment. So you've dedicated your life to uplifting women and communities. In your opinion, what does true empowerment really look like?
True empowerment to me looks like sacrifice. True empowerment is to be an example of the things that you speak. So many times over the years, we've we've seen hypocrites, to just be perfectly honest. We've seen people that speak messages and live the total opposite of the things that they say. And so true empowerment is to be the definition of what you speak, give what you say, and do it from the heart. I think that's the most important part of the empowerment. It's not always the money, because I have a mentor that says, we don't have money problems, we have mental problems,
Mm-hmm.
because the things we deal with that holds us back is not the money, it's our brain, it's our mind, it's the things we allow ourselves to think about, regurgitate, talk about too much, and different things like that. So that's where I think that actually comes from for me.
So, how can women support each other in a more authentic and impactful way?
Honestly, women supporting each other, um over the years, it was said that women couldn't do it, and it was impossible for women to be able to be in the same spaces. Women are crabs in a bucket, women are jealous, they
Especially
envy,
Black
they
women.
gossip, they fight, especially Black women.
Mm-hmm.
And um the thing about it is, how can we do that better? I think it's just being honest about who you are. It takes work in us all, because we're shaped by where we come from.
Mm-hmm.
We're shaped by our neighborhoods, our families, our cultures, and different things like that. We're naturally shaped by that. But some of us are wise enough to know everything we come from was not always right. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so you know, the accountability is that when you know better, you do better. When you've been exposed to greater, and you've come in a place where you understand, hey, Big Mama wasn't always right. I love Big Mama, she cared for us, but some of her philosophies wasn't right, and it did not make you a horrible person, but it did not make you the best person. And when we come to places like this, where there are professionals that can educate us, where there are leaders that can train us, where there's conversations that can come about that can say, hey, I'd never seen it that way, I
Mm-hmm.
never thought about it that way. It's the truth behind it all to say, I'm willing to do better so that we can all do better.
That's right.
It's not, it's being unselfish sometimes. It's also taking some hits. Yeah, it's taking some hits to your pride, right? Because sometimes in those conversations, you're going to find out that you're wrong. And the accountability allows you to do some self evaluating. So for us to grow as a sisterhood, many of us all across the world, not just BW, there's so many different organizations out there. I think it's just honesty. It's honesty about who you are, and honesty where you need to grow, where you need to improve, and what you want to see, your vision. Because truthfully, those things that you expect from others, you got to be willing to give.
I totally agree with that. And you got to be able to, I'm not going to say expect that you have flaws, but be okay to not be okay and deal with whatever you need to deal with to improve yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Definitely.
not be
So let's,
sheltered, not be sheltered
right.
and closed off just
Mm-hmm.
because you know that, and some of us know that we have those flaws, and so because of those flaws, we'll cut ourselves off from people, and we'll stay and we'll go through things in silence.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not necessarily the healthiest thing as well. We'll be quick to, soon as we get offended, oh, I'm shutting everybody off, when in actuality, that's the space that holds you back more, because your growth is in, I got offended, how do I learn how to communicate? How
Mm-hmm.
do I learn how to express it? And how do I learn how to listen? Because that's a lot of what we have a very hard time being able to do, is listen. Listen and receive in a healthy manner. Everything that offends us is not necessarily for our destruction. Some things is for our cultivating and for our growth.
That is so true. So let's talk about legacy and impact. What legacy do you hope to leave, not just through your business, but through the lives you've touched.
Honestly, the legacy I hope to leave is one that says, that she was honest, she was authentic. I knew the real person. In all
Okay.
of the things that I've done, that was really her. It didn't change. Yes, she liked to dance. Yes, she liked to sing. Yes, she liked comedy. Yes, she liked to pray. She liked it all across the board. She liked to help. She liked to serve, you know. Um, and even sometimes she liked to go in her bubble. She liked to go and get to herself. I want people to be able to say the person that you know and met, that's the real her all the time.
I totally understand. If there's someone listening tonight who feels stuck, overlooked, or uncertain about their purpose, what would you want them to know?
If you feel stuck and uncertain about your purpose, I'll say that it takes some self reflecting. But as I started in the beginning, I'm an advocate for mentors. So I would encourage you to find somebody that is in the direction that you are going, that you aspire to go in. It's important to talk to somebody who's more informed than yourself. I'm also now an advocate of professional counseling. Sometimes there's some trauma and there's some things that have happened in our life that prevents us from going forward. And that's where we get stuck. We get stuck in our hurt. We get stuck in our past. We get stuck in someone said something, someone done something, abandonment, rejection,
Mm-hmm.
called us stupid, called us dumb. Daddy left. Mama didn't want me. And it came out in an argument that she said she should have aborted me. And now I'm feeling broken. Now I'm feeling hurt. Now it don't matter. You know, um, that may be a cause to speak to someone professionally so that they can help you work through. I'm an advocate for professional help as well as church ministry, pastors, all that kind of stuff as well. So I do encourage that. And purpose, as I said before, I believe that purpose already lies on the inside of you through what you're already passionate about. And we're not all the same. People may not understand your purpose. It may be something totally different from your mother, your siblings, your spouse, your purpose. You have to understand, you have to come to what that is for you. And that may take a little time sometime. It may come with some work sometime too. Some schooling might have to do it. Some jobs may have to do it. Some training, some different things like that. So purpose may not actually be revealed to you overnight. So don't beat yourself up. Don't make yourself feel insignificant and make yourself feel lesser than anyone else because you have not figured it all out, right? Um, is the way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. And
That's
I
it.
truly believe that it's take one step in purpose, in the direction of purpose. Let me say that, in the direction of purpose. And that's faith. That's a faith walk, because we
Mm-hmm.
walk by faith, not by sight. So purpose, you don't see it initially. It evolves, it develops, and then you come to the place where it's almost like an aha moment. It's like, I've arrived to purpose. Now I
Mm-hmm.
see purpose. I'm sitting here in this classroom. I'm here at this church. I'm here in this meeting. I'm telling my story. And now I've discovered what purpose really is.
That's it. So, thank you for being on. Why don't you tell if you have any events coming up or any exciting news that's of some things happening? Why don't you talk to us about that and also give the information for BWN? So if anybody want to contact you or join, they'll have that information.
Absolutely, absolutely. Coming here shortly, we're doing some new things. I'm excited about some business partnerships. We'll be rolling out our monthly event here in the Metro Atlanta area for locals to be able to come and participate and be with us. So I'm excited about that. We'll have a open call every Monday night for people that are not currently members to be able to join us. But for members that are a part of BWN, we will have a weekly session of training, of mentorship, of masterminding and networking that they will be able to be in amongst sisters of a like mind that can encourage each other and build each other up. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about also the philanthropy that we're doing in the community. I want to invite others to join us every Wednesday in Conyers at 3031 Salem Road at Life Church. We're partnered along with Fountain of Hope. And so those that want to come out and bring your nonprofit organizations, your outreaches, your youth groups, 16 and over, they can come out and join us as well. You can visit us at our website, www.blackwomenetworking.org. You can go there. You can see more about the organization that we are. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, BWN, Black Women Networking. We have two Facebook groups that you can also join as well to get connected inside, see different businesses, announcements, and different things that we have going on. We'll be soon rolling out our podcast as well. Sis, I see you. Amazing, amazing message behind sis. I see you, sister. Vicky is a witness to the power and the spiritual anointing that's connected to every moment we have done. Sis, I see you, and that will be coming to you through a podcast coming here real soon. So we're excited about that. If you would like to get in direct contact with me, you can text me at 470-331-6018. You can text me info. You can also text me hurt to heal so that I'll know that you are coming through this lovely podcast and you are watching this evening. And I would love to connect with you, talk to you, let you know more about BWN as a membership based organization, becoming a member, becoming a leader, becoming a partner in some of the great and amazing things that we are doing. So, again, I thank you, Sister Victoria, for bringing me on this evening. So amazing. Again, all the beautiful things that you are doing as well to enrich our community and the lives of women and men and youth all over. So again, thank you so much. I was just looking at your book yesterday. I was just looking at your book yesterday, and it was just so inspiring to see in the physical coming through some of my books. And I'm like, this is one of my books. This is one of my books. This is my sister book. So it
Thank
is
you.
a blessing again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the example that you set as well, and the groundbreaking opportunities that you've allowed people to follow in your footsteps and have the boldness and courage to do also. So thank
Thank
you so much
you.
for having me here.
Well, again, Dr. Jones Pate, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your journey, and your heart with us tonight. Your story is a reminder that leadership is not just about titles, it's about impact, service, resilience, and purpose. So tonight's affirmation is I'm walking boldly in my purpose, embracing my journey, and creating a legacy that will impact lives beyond my own. So, to everyone who joined us tonight, thank you for being a part of another meeting conversation on From Hurt to Heal. I do have a couple announcements, though. I do have one. I have a book coming out on June 13th called From Hurt to Heal, a 365-day devotional. And when I tell you, it is so impactful. The way I have it is an easy read and it will resonate with you. We also have a product line called Bloom Again Wellness. It's for women who are going through menopause. I have this product called Cool Her Down. I promise you, it is the best thing because I'm going through menopause right now, and I promise you, when the hot flashes hit, they hit strong. So, this particular product will help you. We have a men's product with beard oil and everything, and then we have a children's product with like a lot of children have eczema and have where they have small patches on their body. This our particular cream will help with those patches. So check us out on for Vit from Vit from our VIT the number 4mob.com. Check us out. We hope to see something. We hope there's something that we talked about tonight resonated and encouraged you or something. Just to show you that even though we go through challenges, we're still inspired to do better. So remind yourself that you may go through a journey, but don't let that journey overwhelm you, and don't let it what's a good word, Dr. Keisha? Don't let it stop you from growing. Just know that
Yes.
it'll pass and you can just keep moving forward. So again, this is
Yes.
your host, Victoria Bateman, Vicky B, as you all know me, reminding you that
All
healing is
right.
possible, purpose is real, and your story still matters. Until next time, continue the journey from hurt to heal. Thank you, Dr. Keisha, and we will see you all
Thank
soon.
you.
Have a good evening.
Bye. Good evening. Good night.
Good night.